Hello and welcome to the Art of Yoga Project YouTube channel. Again, my name is Holly and today we're going to be doing a class inspired by women who rock. So this month's theme is all about embracing and honoring the feminine that sort of exists within all of us. But today we're going to move for the women in our lives who rock. We'll start with a warm-up, and the warm-up will begin on our feet. So with the inspiration also of moon salutation and trying to honor all that energy within the hips that we can get loose, why don't we begin with our feet standing kind of wide, our hips in the center. Let's bring our hands to our hips and then just sort of do some hula hoops. And we can already start to feel ourselves stirring up some energy in the center of our body. Maybe just notice what is surrounding you. Whom are you practicing with today? Are you alone? If you have props, you can have those nearby as well. Today I have a block I'll be using maybe during our moon salutation. Let's go the other way with our circles. If you also want to grab a blanket, you can do so as well. Always nice to have some padding. But as we move here in these circles, see if we can start to feel this energy open up in our hips. And go back to the time when we all started moving, right? In the hips, where where life began. So moving with yourself through this practice, if we can embrace that feminine, nurturing sort of feeling that we all have, move with those feelings, move with kindness and understanding through our practice today. Let's bring our hands on up to our shoulders and just start to do some swimming-like gestures with the shoulders. Maybe begin to invite your breath in. Inhale, look over to the right. Exhale, look over to the left. If you want to move with the breath, let it guide you. Through our practice, it's always a good idea. Let's take it the opposite direction. Big, wide circles with the elbows. We can imagine we're like kind of warming up or lubricating each of our joints. And let's bring these movements down to the wrist. So bring the wrists out, point them down as you exhale. Inhale, flex them up. Exhale, point them down. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, close, bring the elbows in together. Inhale, open. Arch the spine, and then exhale, close, bring it back in. Bring the hands together. Let's see if we can just interlace our fingers and roll our wrists out. So taking some time. The hands are very important. We create, we care, we nurture with our palms. So taking some time to stretch out in the wrist. And then take it the opposite direction. And we'll think about also as we move, what are the ways that we are beautiful? What are the beautiful things that we embrace about ourselves? Beauty might be another feminine, relax our hands down, shake out our hands. Might be another feminine quality to think of. And beauty might come up. So you yourself define your beauty, right? Society doesn't define beauty for us. So let's think about that as we go into our practice. But first, let's do a little check-in. So coming to a seat, taking this time to check in with yourself personally or with others if you're sharing the practice with others today, inviting them to check in, sharing your name, your feeling. And for today's check-in, see if we can share a quote first by Lauryn Hill. So Lauryn Hill is a singer-songwriter, R&B, hip-hop artist. And she said, don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem, right? So we each have those qualities that we can embrace. And maybe the women who rock in our lives embrace the more masculine or the more feminine. Up to you. But let's give it a shot and let's think about it and share what it is and how you're feeling about the women in your world who rock and why. Name the women that you have thought of so far. And one person I can think of that rocks in my life is my mom. And I would say that because she's strong. I think that she's strong and she's also very caring. So those are the reasons I think she rocks. Women who rock also in my life are some famous singer-songwriter artists that I can look up to who are rock and roll. They play rock and roll just as well as men, and they are sort of embrace these like feminine qualities while also sharing this more hard side. And we can recognize that we all have a hard side that might feel like rocking out. We also have a feminine side that feels like relaxing and taking care of. So after discussion and thinking about the women in our life who rock, we'll come to do a few Milazzo salutations together. And for today's class, we'll get a little bit more open in our hips as well. So let's see if we can start by standing at the top of our mats. Take a deep breath wherever you're at, finding yourself in a straight stance. That is with the ankles beneath the knees, knees beneath the hips, hips beneath the shoulders, and our head resting atop it all. And maybe closing your eyes for a moment. Think about those qualities that you've thought of or that others shared with you. Think about how we can embrace those qualities about what women rock and why they rock in our lives. Let's begin by sweeping the palms up to reach our mountain nice and tall. And then exhale, bring our arms over to the right and our hips over to the left. Maybe invite a little love gun, right up. Arms spring the ears. Inhale, come up nice and tall. And then exhale, up and over to the opposite side. So you're going to see we're creating a crescent shape. All the way on the right sides of our bodies is opening up, left side. Remembering not to close that off. Inhale, up nice and tall. Exhale, let's do that one more time. Opposite side. And we can imagine we have two sides of us, the feminine and the masculine. Can we imagine we're opening up one side here, but we're not closing off the other? So embracing both, but in today's practice, we'll work more with that feminine, like exhale, come over to the other side. So that passiveness that allows us to release and relax and feel nurtured in our bodies. Come up, inhale, and then exhale. Let's guide ourselves down towards the floor, and then step our left foot back. We're going to do a crescent lunge, so find your back knee down. So we did a crescent side stretch. Now let's create that crescent shape all the way from the fingers back to the back foot. Take a lunge forward, open in the hips here. Inhale, embrace. How open this pose may feel. Maybe bend your elbows and shine your hearts up. And then exhale, bring the hands down towards the floor. We're all going to meet now in a warrior two. So cartwheeling our hands up, warrior two finds the front knee over the front ankle. Can we imagine we were confident or courageous? Any of those sort of things that came up for you when thinking about describing the women who rock in your life? Embodying that fierceness here, but then also bringing that feminine-like quality down. Relax the shoulders, and let's reverse it now. Maybe feel now the opposite of that. See how we can feel peaceful in the peaceful warrior and graceful. And instead of more rigid, more like a dancer. And then exhale the hands down. Go ahead, find a triangle as we straighten the front leg and just coast one hand, arm down, right arm down to the shin. And then inhale back to our reverse warrior again. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, and go ahead, step your right foot back, meet yourself all the way down onto your belly. We're gonna rise up, scoop the chest up, belly up, and then exhale, find ourselves back into our child's pose. Feeling that nurturing sense in our child's pose, knowing we can go back to this pose whenever we'd like to kind of restart, recollect, come back up. Downward facing dog, shake your head out, yes, no, maybe so. And then look up to the front of the mat. Step, hop, skip, reach your palms back up towards the ceiling when you're ready. And then exhale, hands down. Let's invite all of that same feeling into the opposite side. Same love, same nurture, same understanding. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, come down. Knowing that both sides of us are different. Yeah? The right side might feel different. Reach your right foot back. Crescent lunge, bring the back knee down. Remember to support yourself if you need it. Beneath your knees, inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands down. Maybe you take a cactus again as we pause in our crescent for a moment. If you did that on the other side. And then bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. bring that back knee off and then come on up with that fierceness to your warrior two. What are those nice qualities that we like to embrace that are more masculine, right? Like a warrior, getting things done, feeling hard, working hard, or we can reverse and peacefully come out of that, knowing we have both sides to us, finding that nice balance. And then exhale, hand down, straighten the leg, left palm down. We're creating kind of a full moon cycle here through our moon salutation. Inhale. Again, imagine carving the top of the moon with the top hand. And then exhale, hands down, cartwheel yourself down, all the way back down to our bellies again, nice and slow. And then inhale, scoop the heart forward, the chest forward, look up, maybe look back slightly, maybe look over one shoulder, maybe look over the other. And then exhale yourself back to your child's pose. Taking a moment in your child's pose, I'll read another quote by Emma Stone. I can't think of any better representation of beauty than a woman who isn't afraid to be herself. So how can we embrace all that we are and all how we move through this practice? So if any harsh judgment comes up, just sort of letting that fly away, right? Because the best part is to not be afraid to be ourselves. That's the best representation of beauty, according to Emma Stone, is to not be afraid to be who you are. Let's go ahead and do one more salutation. Come up, back to your downward facing dog. Maybe look up towards the front of the mat, maybe hop, step, or skip, and then inhale, rise up. We'll open this side up a little bit more for the hips. Exhale, hands down to the floor again. Step your left leg back, find your crescent lunge, inhale, rise. And exhale, hands down to the instep of that right foot. Let's see if we can crawl our hands over, swivel on our back foot as we swivel, crawl all the way over, ninja-like crawl to the back of the mat. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. And exhale, hands down. Maybe walk over to the other side. I like to call these ninja squats. Beautiful. Go ahead, step your right foot back. Find yourself again. Down towards the floor. Inhale, scoop the shine the heart forward. Exhale, up and back, child's pose. Let's connect it all. Inhale, all the way up to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up from the top. Crescent lunge over to the right. Or just crescent, not crescent lunge. Just crescent over, love gun to the right. How can we imagine this love gun? We're pointing. Love, spreading love. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Remembering not to close off one side to open up the other. Stay even, embrace both sides of us. Inhale, rise up nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Go ahead, walk the hands back towards the center. And we'll come with the hands to the hips this time and invite a goddess in between both sides. So goddess pose is bringing the shoulders and the hips to level down, but they're still on top of each other. Knees on top of the ankles, toes pointing out. Can we feel like we're cultivating and having a lot of strength here in our pelvis region, in the center of us where life all began? And then star, find a nice bright star. Let's go ahead and find the opposite side. So we'll bring our self over to the right, back of the mat, crescent lunge, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Go ahead and walk it back over towards the center. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, rise. Go ahead and grab a block. For the last part of class, we'll just do a few passive movements. Let's heel toe the feet in. See if we can have them a little wider than our hips. We're going to practice a pose called Milazzo. Feeling more warm, hopefully connected. Through that moon salutation, we're going to now relax and settle into opening of the hips more. But please be patient with yourself through this pose and grab multiple pillows or any support that you may need. We'll bring ourselves now, hands to the heart center, and see if we can squat all the way down. finding something that supports you. So if this is a block set on a medium setting, set it right beneath your tailbone. On a low setting, depending on how sturdy your block is, high setting, let's have the toes point out slightly and our elbows rest on the knees. Kind of holding our hands here towards the center. Can we feel strength in the center of our bodies? Can we feel strength in this belly of ours? Take a moment to connect to it as we take deep breaths into our belly. Feel your spine nice and tall. And I'll read another quote here by India Ari. She says, "I'm not my hair, I'm not my skin, I'm not your expectations. I am the soul that lives within me." So we are not to define ourselves by these outward qualities or what other people may expect of us, right? You are the soul that is within you. So feeling a connection to that and remembering to embracing your true beauty, defining what that true beauty is for you. Feeling the divine feminine that lives within all of us. Take a few more breaths here in your Milazzo, your yogi squat. Before we go ahead and slowly bring whatever is supporting us from beneath us, hands behind us. Let's come to sit in the middle of the mat. Go ahead, we're just gonna knock the knees side to side and just feel a massage of the hips on the ground. And the hips may have gotten a big stretch from that pose. So letting the blood and everything come on back. Windshield wipering the feet and the knees is like a reset. And then we're going to come back down to our backs for the final portion of class. Relaxing ourselves all the way down. Maybe if you would like to float your boat on the way, you can pause by lifting your heels up and feeling your sit bones down, palms reach forward to face each other. And then just feel this core of ours working to slowly lower us to the floor. Take a moment to rest here, meeting yourself toward the ground, back towards Mother Earth, bringing it back down to Earth. And then let's see if we can go ahead and bring the knees in, give ourselves a big hug. And as we rock side to side with the knees in towards us, can we remember what it's like to be held when we are held and nurtured by whomever may have raised us, be it our mother or anyone who had those motherly-like qualities. Let's go ahead and take a moment, bring the head up towards the knees, feel like you're in that ball again, that fetal position where we've all been in this fetal position before. We all started life here in this position. So going back to that intimate, more sort of innocent self as we guide ourselves towards our final relaxation. With this, you might want to relax the palms out, relax the shoulders, maybe pick up the heart, wiggle the shoulder blades a little closer together. We'll all bring our palms to our belly for some final moments of connection and reflection. If you have maybe a shirt or anything that you'd like to rest over your eyes, you can do that now. Maybe an eye pillow would work. Taking your time to just eliminate distractions here and hone in your energy inward. Going back to all those qualities that we mentioned about those people, those women who rock in our life. See if we can feel the belly move and breathe into our palms. And the belly rise and fall. Full belly breaths. Inhaling into all that is feminine, nurturing, caring, any of those qualities you embrace. Then exhale, feel yourself kind of exert and bring that all out. Spread that all out to the world around you, the earth around us. And then going back to the women who inspire you and who they are. Maybe taking a breath for each one. Thinking about how we can embrace all of these qualities that we like about these people and also be an inspiration to the people around us. When we're ready, we'll take a moment to just slowly invite some movement back into our bodies. Taking your time to not rush this process. Reaching your hands up, reaching your feet down, and maybe rock the head side to side, massaging the back of the head on the earth. Let your eye pillow or whatever escape you. If you'd like to pause the video to relax longer, please feel free. Otherwise, invite yourself over to one side. We'll relax again in the fetal position. Head in the arms or in the hands. And then going back, can we feel supported by Mother Earth in this pose? Let gravity hold us closer to her. And then bringing with us, embracing all of those qualities that we've thought about and inspired us to move through this practice. Bring yourself back up to a seat. And we'll do a little check out just with the self, or again, if you want to check out with the people who are sharing this practice with you, maybe sharing your name and your feeling in this moment, if that's changed. And then also sharing a way that you can embrace, a quality that you can embrace that we mentioned earlier, and how we can show that, how we can spread that and inspire others around us. And after doing so, we'll do a final little breath all together. But first, thanking you for coming back to the Art of Yoga Project's YouTube channel and practicing with me, Holly. Hope to see you again soon. We'll take a final breath. So just letting all your breath come out and escaping. And then inhaling, embracing all those qualities, all those things that we've come up with. Why those women rock in our lives. And then honing it, bringing it inwards, and being that light, being that person. And now we'll take a gesture, hands to the heart, and know that the light in me sees and honors the light in you.